Folders on Squarespace are a funny one. There's not much customizability to them natively, but the funny thing is, if you're willing to do a little bit of code, there are tons and tons of effects that we can do. So one trick that I want to show you guys is how to put a border around a folder on Squarespace. This is super easy, but it can really elevate a site and give it that little bit of individuality that some sites are just crying out for. So let's hop on over to the screen and I'll show you how to add the border. So to start off with adding a border to a folder on Squarespace, we need to know how to add a folder, full stop. So if we go into pages, we can see that we have a folder set up here. I'm going to take these out and I'll show you how to set it up from scratch. So if we drag these out and get rid of this, we'll start from the beginning. So we click the plus icon, and then what we do is we go down to folder, that's just beneath me here. We click this and we give it a name. So I'm just going to call it about. Then we drag about to where we want it. And then what we do is we drag our content in, which creates this hierarchy. You can tell when something is in the folder because it will click into place like that. Then you can see we have our folder. So we go into design and then custom CSS. Let's create a couple of new lines and then paste our code. So if I hover over, you'll see the code in action. When I paste it, it adds this effect straight in. So what we've done is basically gone into Google Chrome Developer Tools, so you press Shift, Command and C, and that brings you, if you are using Chrome by the way, it brings you into the background basically of the website. So what we do is we toggle this, we click on our folder, and then we toggle this again, and then we hover over our folder until the whole thing is highlighted. And when we click this, it gives us the target for the code. So if I copy this, and then I go back into our custom CSS, and if I paste this in, it will be exactly the same. So basically we're saying we're targeting within the header the folder content, which is this. Now if you wanted, you could actually just get rid of all of that and simplify it down, which just looks a bit more aesthetically pleasing. So we can keep it to that, that's fine. But I'm just showing you the process of finding the target and then pasting that and applying it within the CSS. You can then change the color to whatever you want. So it could be red, it could be blue, or you can use hex and RGB and even RGBA codes. So a hex code for white would be FFF or FFF. Sounds like I'm about to break into song. And then you can just change this to whatever you want. So you can actually do RGB codes as well. So if we open this up, it would be 0, 0, 129, 200. And you can see if we adjust this, it changes constantly. So if you use RGBA, if you use hex, if you just want to say white, black, red, blue, green, whatever it may be, you can change the color. You can also change the PX value. So let's say we change that to 5. You can thicken up that border. And if you really wanted, you could put a border radius. So if we add a new line and then do border dash radius, we can do 20 PX. And you can see that actually rounds the folder, which is quite a cool effect. And that is how you put a border around a folder on Squarespace.